TribLIVE Radio presents Pirates manager Clint Hurdle, appearing throughout the season with Ken Laird and Guy Junker.
El Toro strikes in the 19th.
The best Pirates talk is right here. Trib Total Media. See what's next. The Clint Hurdle Show on TribLIVE Radio is brought to you by Century 3 Chevrolet. We can make it happen.
Busy week for the Pittsburgh Pirates and a pitcher's duel at PNC Park last night. Joining us now here on TribLive.com to talk about his team, the field manager of the Bucks, we welcome Clint Hurdle back to TribLIVE Radio. Clint, good morning.
Good morning, man.
Another excellent outing from Volquez last night, I know, in a losing effort, but wanted to ask you, Clint, how much credit you give to Edinson for the hard work he's put in, and how much also to you and Ray Searage and Russell Martin and the guys around him?
Well, Edinson deserves, the bulk of the credit. There is a cast of characters that have played significant roles in his continuing development, reacquainting himself with his mechanics, revisiting the delivery he had when he was successful, finding his way back. It's kind of like sometimes when you're in a house, maybe you go on a vacation, maybe you go and travel, you come back, your wife rearranges the furniture in the house. You got to find a different way across the living room. Edison's had to find a different way back to the mound, to revisiting those mechanics he had when he was successful. Ray deserves some credit. Jim Benedict obviously deserves some credit. And I think Russell Martin does a fantastic job of game scheming and planning and building confidence. At the end of the day, Edison is the man standing on that mound. Edison's a man with his foot on the rubber and the ball in his hand, and he is very conscientious and very steadfast on focusing to have the kind of season he believes he's capable of having.
I guess it's yet another example, right, of spring training numbers being pretty meaningless. Did you get a pretty good vibe, even though maybe some of his numbers weren't great, that he was headed the right direction?
If all you can look at is numbers, no, they're meaningful. And a lot of people only look at numbers. The beauty of life and the game is for the people that can come outside the lines, look outside the numbers. We had, in another case, Andrew Lambo's numbers were significant. The spring training hitting numbers. The numbers were significant, but again, even in Lambo's case, you look within the context and the quality of the at-bats. With Edison, you looked at the quality of the innings. Did he get better every time out? Was the delivery becoming more repeatable? Was the command of the strike zone shrinking? Was he not spraying the ball? Was he dotting the glove? Was he following the glove? Were the variations of speed from fastball to changeup where we wanted them? Spin to the breaking ball, late tilt. All those things just kept building momentum throughout spring training. And it takes a guy with some experience and some confidence to not let a result affect the process nor shake his confidence.
Oh, Cueto was obviously outstanding again last night as well, Clint. You had a quote in the postgame I thought was pretty fascinating. I was wondering what's going through a hitter's mind when he's at the plate. You're a former hitting coach and, of course, a big leaguer yourself. You mentioned about looking in and out, up and down, slow and hard. How much should be going through a hitter's mind when he's up there against a guy like Cueto? Should you be picking a zone and a kind of velocity?
Well, what we've learned over time is that Cueto now has shown us he's got multiple weapons, and he can go to all four corners of the strike zone. So now you've got to shrink your game plan. You got to simplify things. You can't try and hit four pitches, and you can't try and cover the entire plate. So we've got to make some choices next time out. And I said one of those opportunities to choose is either you look up or down the zone and you stay there. You either look inside or outside and you stay there, or you look hard or you look soft and you stay there. What great pitchers do is control bat speed, and they control bat speed by mixing pitches and speeds and locations, so the hitter's always behind or in front. They're never at the contact point where that front foot's down and that barrel's over your front foot. You're playing back to the catcher's mitt or the barrel's out towards the pitcher's mouth. That's what he does so well. So we're going to have to scheme a little differently last time because he showed us a completely different game plan last night from the start of the game than the entire one he used a week ago in Cincinnati. Very, very talented young man whose confidence is extremely high right now, Cueto on the mound. So
sometimes when a guy's in the box there, it's pretty busy between the ears. There's a lot. I mean, you have to process everything.
No. I don't mean to say that. No, you get your plan on deck.
I see.
And then you go and you compete. One of the mistakes that can be made in professional sports, from my opinion, is you start thinking while you're playing too much. You've got a game plan. You've got awareness, yes, those kind of things, but no. Once I'm covering in or I'm covering away, I'm going to be stubborn with my approach. here's what I'm going to do. Not a lot going on in your head. It's too tough of a drill to accomplish anyway, hitting a moving sphere 95 miles an hour, 85 miles an hour with spin to be trying to process a lot. So what you do is you set the trap on deck, and then you go in the box and compete.
Pirates manager Clint Hurdle, our guest here on TribLIVE Radio. Another successful challenge from you last night. Have you been keeping track of your success record? And when you're out there, how different are your conversations now compared to maybe last year in that situation when you would have come out to second base?
No, you know what? We live in a society I don't need to keep track of. I'm sure there's multiple people keeping track of them. We've got, I really believe in the group and our process that we've put together to attack this new opportunity, this history-making opportunity that's going on within our game. There's going to be times when you're going to go out and you're going to challenge knowing that you might not get a call, too. It's not like I'm going out there every time we've got to win. There comes a point in time after the sixth inning, if you've got a challenge and it's close and it could spin the game, and you get that little report, well, this could go either way. You might just flip the coin and say, I need a challenge. Or if it's a leverage situation where runs have been put on the board and they don't give you that, the clear and convincingly, yes, we're going to win this, but they give you that little sideways thumb, you might go for it because runs have been put on the board. So, there's going to be people at the end of this going to say, so-and-so was so successful, da-da-da-da. And again, it goes back to what we're talking about vocalists. Are you coloring outside the lines? Are you coloring inside the lines? What are you looking for? It's been different. I think we're all just still trying to figure it out. It has softened some of the conversations. But I do know that, a few umps will be ejected, and I know that balls and strikes are still in play, and, we've gotten close. I've had a couple, that's enough thrown my way, and all you got to do is pop off one more time, and you get the rest of the night off when that happens. So there still will be that interaction. It might not be what it used to be. And I had a newspaper guy, radio guy the other day say, he's throwing a fit because there's no more managers, umpires arguing. I said, well, you know what? You got that at home. Go home and do that. Don't put that on me and don't put that on us. Yeah. Yes, it was part of the game. Life's changing. The game's changing. And really just to go out and yell for yelling's sake, I'm not a fan of that.
Well, later in the seventh, Clint, I know a couple of our listeners wanted me to ask you about the situation after the challenge, where Cozart's at the plate, runner at third and 2 outs in the pitcher's spot on deck, and the decision to either pitch around the number 8 hitter or attack him and maybe try to get that 9th spot leading off the next inning. One of the things, I don't know, just observing you from afar, you seem to have a great knack for supporting your players at great times. I don't know if that went into the decision to let Volquez attack Cozart there, but can you just kind of talk about that and what's running through your mind in a situation like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I yelled out to Russell, who's behind the plate, said, Bernardina is not going to hit. They got a pitcher up. Now, me saying that, am I 100% sure? No, I'm not. I can't manage both teams. I don't know if we walk Cozart, just price roll the dice and take Cueto out with a 1-run lead and he's got 80 pitches or 79 pitches. I don't know that. But I want to let him know that we weren't going to pitch to him. What we were going to do, we were going to pitch to him and challenge his discipline, which we do very effectively. You saw us get to a quick 1-2 count. Breaking ball down, chase. Unfortunately, the next pitch, we were set up off the plate. The ball drifted back over the plate, and it's knee-high, and Cozart hits a double. Yeah. What they got, I got. And if there's blame, it comes on me, not on Russell, not on Volquez, because if you want to put him on, we just put him on. We don't play wishy-washy, that pitch around him, try and get him out, but don't walk him stuff. We don't do that. Basically we were going to attack. We were going to attack and get him to chase because we've done it pretty successfully in the 3 years that I've been here and he's played. It didn't work that night. We were down 1-0. We rolled the dice. They banged us for another run and clipped us for 2 more after that.
Just a couple more moments here with Clint Hurdle, Pirates manager. Your depth in starting pitching, everybody has been raving about. The nice array of pitchers you've got waiting in the wings here. It may be tested here coming up Thursday. We have a TBA on the schedule. Just in general, how comfortable do you feel with your options in the minors if you need to dip down there, Clint? And how close do you monitor Brandon Compton and Jeff Locke and guys like that? After your games, just to get a feel for where they are.
Well, I get a minor league report from every team that plays, and every pitcher that takes them out. as do all our major league coaches. And you can dig as deep as you want through the reports to follow up. I have my finger on the pulse of AAA, position players and pitchers. I have a weekly meeting with Dean Trainer and bi-monthly conversations with Pagliarulo and Filer as far as the pitchers and the other position players, just to get their perspective. So we have up-to-date views, thoughts, and reports at our disposal. And I've got an 11 o'clock phone call with Trainer today. We know exactly how Locke's progress is coming along. We know exactly how Compton's is. Andy, Oliver, Welker, whoever you want to talk about in the bullpen, position players. So we're right on top of that.
Well, before I let you go, I know you're a hockey fan from your Michigan days. We got the Pens and the Wings in action. I couldn't help but notice a nice picture you had on your desk with you and Dan Bilesma and Mike Tomlin all together. Are you following Dan and the Penguins' run? How closely do you get to stay in tune?
Definitely following the run. I mean, can't watch the game the other night. We're engaged. Not going to watch it tonight. Got home the first night, set my chair in our den here, and it was 3-1. We were down, and of course, as you well know, 45 seconds later it's tied, and we have the strong finish that we had with Fleury defending net the way he did. So, yes, I'm in. I love the sport. This is truly one of the great sporting times of the year for hockey. Playoff hockey, significant, it's special, it's different. And I'm a big fan, and I'm obviously pulling for our hometown Penguins big time.
Nice to see you and the other managers, coaches in town have that kind of reports. It's not always the case, is it, where you got that kind of a unity?
No, it hasn't been. It is special. And in reaching out to the head football coach at Pitt this year, the Dapper Dan, we've got some things lined up, and then we've got with Paul and then with Jamie as well. So it's not just the pro guys, but Tomlin and I have developed a relationship over time, as have Danny and I. I'm a big fan of both men, professionally and personally.
Clint, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.